Hi guys, welcome Precalculus. I gotta get some pump up music up in here. Precalc, pumped to have you. If you are just getting here, I'll put this in the chat again. Can I ask, Axel, are you a chat human? Do you like always watch the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Axel, for the next 5 minutes, could you just resend the link and the password like every minute for the next 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes, great, Axel. You're my human today. Thank you so much. All right, team. I'm gonna share the screen. JK, I'm gonna take us back to the right slides, and then I'm gonna share the screen. Cool. How are we today? We're good. I am gonna find out how good you are by throwing this poll to you. How good are you? Great. Some people are great. Some people are awesome. Some not so good. I'm sad to hear that. Some S. Well, get ready. Today's the best day. If anyone knows Amira or Mimi, it's her birthday today. She is new to our school, so say hey to her and tell her happy birthday. Axel, you blowing up my chat? Yes, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, team. A few more of us jumping into that poll. All right. Not everyone's been able to vote, but I'm gonna show you the results. Here we go. Looks like most of us are awesome. The highest percentage awesome. Second highest percentage great. So I'm big time happy with that. Thank you for your honesty, my eds and not so goods. I totally hear you. It can be rough. This world is rough. So for today, I just wanted to say thank you so much to the people who, everybody that submitted the mathographies. They were really awesome to watch. So I got some videos, I got some drawings, which I loved. I even got like some awesome poem in like poem writing. Precalc, I know I have not responded to you like directly yet, but I will be like entering more comments on yours. I read them all, but I like needed to go fast on my grading, so I wasn't like typing back my responses. But I can't wait to get to like check that out. So thank you for those stories. Thank you for sharing with me. Just wanted to review our expectations. So attendance, just like in person, engagement expected. So you're in the chat, you're telling, like if you gotta have your camera off, just let me know in the chat. You can private chat, no big deal. Just a reminder, stay muted unless you are like actively engaging, just so we're not getting a bunch of background noise. And then chat when you're prompted. So ways that we can participate. Number one is a speed chat. That means I just want you to be the fastest person in the chat. Like I'm asking a quick question, I just want to know the answer really fast. Speed chat, that's what I'm calling that. Type and wait. Sometimes I will ask a question where I want everyone to think about it first. And so that means that you can type it in the chat, but don't press enter, right? Wait until I say go, and then we'll just see, I'll say go, and everyone will press their go at the same time. But I want everyone to be able to think when I say type and wait. And then finally, I have on the spot. On the spot just means like I might call on you directly. Sometimes we call that a cold call. I might call on you directly. That just means you're on the spot. You're put on the spot. Does that make sense for everybody? Throw me a thumbs up if you're ready. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. Axel, I think you can stop chatting. Thank you so much for sending those out for everybody who is joining us. Cool. Jeanette, did you have a question? Are you jamming?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, sweet. All right, I'm gonna jump out of here. Okay, for today, you need a pencil and a piece of paper of some kind. You can write on an iPad if that's your jam. However you want to take notes, that's totally fine. But in the assignment, I'm gonna ask you to take a picture of your notes and post them. So please make sure that you're taking some type of notes. You are my pre-calculus. I am gonna trust that you are able to take college notes. So that is like, what that means is just like you are taking notes however you feel. Some days I might have specific ways that I want you to take notes, but today it's on you. You get to decide how you want to take notes. So if you're like a 2-column note fanatic, do it up. If you are someone who likes to draw pictures in the margins, do it up. Just make sure you're paying attention. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna switch over my share here. I also just want to let you know that my internet is being stupid. So if you don't see something on my screen, just go ahead and like tell me that you don't see it, and I will try to fix it because it's being really annoying. Okay, please hold. Here we go. You should see something blue. Do you see something blue? Yes, great. How about now? Do you see a bunch of graphs? Okay, amazing. Thanks for those chats. Okay, so in the, we're gonna learn about parent functions today, but I just wanna give you a heads up. When I take notes, I'm gonna number our concepts from 1 to like 100 at the end of the year. So every single day it will be a different number. It'll be like the next number. So today is number 1. Obviously, we're getting started. We actually did 0 last week. That's why we started on 0, so that your notes could start with number 1. So today we're gonna learn about parent functions. Parent functions are like the basic graphs. And most of pre-calculus is just about these graphs, right? So we're gonna learn a lot about these graphs. I wanna be like very honest. If we were in class, I would have these printed for you and you would not have to draw them, okay? It's gonna be really annoying that you are gonna need to draw them. If you're a perfectionist, which I already know I have some of you in this class, if you're a perfectionist, today's not the day we need to be perfectionists. We're just gonna sketch, okay? So that's the difference between sketching and graphing. Graphing, when I say graph, like I want you to graph something, we need to do it more specifically. When I say to sketch something, I just mean like a quick graph. Make it look kind of like what I can see on here. So we're gonna talk about the different types of graphs, and we're gonna start with our most basic graph. Go ahead and draw that on your screen or on your paper. I'm gonna draw on my screen. This is what we call the constant graph. It is literally just a straight line, has a 0 slope. And the one that we see here is y equals 4. But in general, it's just like y equals a number, right? So those are our horizontal lines. This is our constant graph. Today, we're gonna learn a lot of names. The first one that we're learning is constant. Okay. All right. You can go ahead and draw that second one. Does anyone know what this one's called? Like its fancy name? You can shout it out or you can type it in the chat. It is a line. The fancy name is linear. Yes, Kimbo. Yes, Kayla. Thank you. Linear. Oh, dang it. Come on. Linear. Linear. And this is just the graph of y equals x, right? So the only thing that's happening to x is it's big chillin'. Nothing's happening to it. Okay. That is our linear graph. We have another graph, looks like a V. Does anyone know the name of this graph? I'm going to show you what the equation is. Y equals line X. Anybody know the name of that? What are those lines called?
Absolute value.
Yes, absolute value. This is the absolute value graph. Absolute value. All right, absolute value. Absolute value makes things positive. That's why you only see the line above the x-axis. Everything's been turned positive. So it's like the linear graph, but we took the negative side and we turned it positive, like this. That's why it makes a V. Cool. This one's kind of funky. See how it like looks like stair steps? Right? It looks like stair steps. Does anyone know the name of this one? It's called our greatest integer function. Greatest integer. When we write the equation, it's y equals, and then it's like these like brackets, like double brackets, like this kind of thing. But since we live in like the internet world and you might want to type this in Desmos at some point, you actually type y equals int x, like that, integer. It is kind of like domain and range. They are intervals, yeah. So these are intervals. Essentially what it means is that we are taking the greatest integer. So if my x value, let's say I'm over here at like 1.5, my x value is 1.5, my y value is 1, because the biggest integer, the biggest whole number in 1.5 is 1. Right? So like for 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 1.9. But then at 2, it jumps up to 2. And then 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. It's kind of funky. Okay? So that is my greatest integer. For right now, we don't have to know anything about them. We just have to know their names. That's the goal for today. Okay. So those are kind of like the ones that you learn in Algebra 1. Okay. And then in Algebra 2, like officially, we start to make things more complicated and we think about a few more graphs. Does anyone remember the name of this graph?
Parabola.
Parabola, And then there's a fancy name called that starts with a Q. David, we didn't hear you.
Quadratic.
Yeah, quadratic. Yeah. Okay, so this is, the family name is called quadratic. The thing is called a parabola. I don't know why there are two names. I used to know, but I'm old, so I forgot. There is some reason why there's two names. I don't know. The one we're going to go with is quadratic. That's its fanciest name. And it's y equals x squared. So whenever we see a squared in that function, we know it's quadratic. That's our first thought. And then it has a little friend, its partner. If you imagine this was a parabola and then it like became a little bit negative, right? So like this is your friend that was positive, and then like sometimes they're a little bit negative, so you don't always want to hang out with them. This is the cubic graph. Can anyone guess or remember what the equation is for this?
Y equals x to the third.
X to the third, yeah, for sure. Cubed. Y, dang it, come on. Y equals x to the third, for sure. So if we see the cubic graph, we're gonna jump in there. Have these been somewhat like, we recognize these so far? Seeing a few head nods.
Yes.
Yeses, some yeses, sweet. Okay, so these probably are like things we've seen in the past. Have we seen these graphs before? Maybe, but probably a little bit less. Emma's seen some of these graphs. Emma, do you remember the names of them? You want me to unmute you? Emma, do you remember? It's okay. I won't put you on.
I just remember seeing it in Smash.
Oh, yes, in Smash, for sure. Okay, so this first one is a square root graph, right? So this is y equals the square root of x, square root of x, and we call it a radical graph. We really call it a square root graph. Miss Name, our calculus teacher, your teacher next year, calls it the shooting star graph because it looks like a shooting star. You guys see, it's like, when you wish upon a star, shooting star, you know, Disney. Yeah, okay, anyways, shooting star graph. It's the square root graph. And it is also always positive because square roots can't be negative, right? Remember imaginary numbers? So we don't want to have the square root of a negative, so it's just positive. So if that is a square root, then the next one is what we call a cube root. And that's when we put the little radical index in there, right? Index. And this is called a cube root graph. Again, we don't really have to know too much about them right now. We just have to know what they look like. So our whole goal today is that we know what they look like. Are there any questions so far? Not yet. So these are kind of like the algebra 2 heading into pre-calculus graphs, right? So you don't have to necessarily know them. You might have recognized them or seen them before at some point. And then we have some pre-calculus graphs. Don't freak out. These might be new. Okay, this first one, it like starts around 0 and then it heads all the way up to positive infinity. This is called an exponential graph. And this is a graph of like y equals 2 to the x. So when the x is an exponent, it's called exponential graph, right? So, and it makes this line that's going up forever and ever. You have probably seen, if you've been paying attention to coronavirus, you have probably seen the exponential graphs. That's because diseases are exponential. Their growth is exponential. Like one person gives it to 2 more people, each of them give it to 2 more people, so the graph goes up really, really fast. That's exponential. And then this other graph that like starts below the x-axis and goes up, this is called a logarithmic graph. Logarithmic. And this is y equals ln 2. The logarithm, the natural log. Have we learned about logs yet? Did Mr. Ollie teach you about logs? Yes, great. So you know what? You're not scared when I write ln. No scared. Awesome. Love it. So logarithmic. This next graph has 2 parts. It looks like this. One is below the line, the x-axis. One is above the x-axis. Has that general shape. They can be shifted around and moved, but they have that general shape there. This is called a rational graph. Sometimes called a reciprocal graph. That has 2 names. And this is the graph of y equals 1 over x. So when x is on the bottom of a fraction, it's called the reciprocal graph. And then finally, we have this one that's like kind of funky, has some weird asymptotes going on. This one is also called a rational graph. Also called rational. And this is when you have like y equals, maybe have like x squared over x to the 3rd or something funky, right? Maybe there's like a plus 4x up here and like a minus 6 down here. That can happen. It's just when you have you have more than one x, they're in lots of different places. It makes this funky shape. One of my very favorite types of graphs. We'll learn a little bit more in quarter 3 and quarter 4. Were there any that we missed that I went too fast on? Do we need to see them again? Okay, so far. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna show you 3 equations, right? I want us to just know what to do when we see an equation, how we can know what kind of graph it is. So what I do is I look for the x. So for example, in this first one, I look for the x and I try to see what's happening to the x. Negatives, I don't care about them right now. Later, I'll care about them. But right now, I don't care. The -5, don't care about that. What's the major thing that's happening here? Speed chat, what's the major thing that's happening here? What's happening?
Being squared.
Yeah, it's being squared. Awesome. Yo, talking way faster than the speed chat. The exponent. Yeah, and particularly this is a square. So since this is basically the graph of, basically this is like x squared, what's the name of this graph?
Exponential.
Exponential, good question, or good thought. Exponential is when you have like x in the exponent itself. But what happens when you have just x squared?
Parabola.
A parabola, yeah. this graph looks like this. It might be somewhere else in the graph. It might be upside down. There might be other things happening to it. But in general, the graph looks like a parabola, and the name is quadratic. The name is quadratic. So there's other things happening, but the name is quadratic, and the graph looks like a parabola. Okay. All right. For this next one, give you a second. You can write it down if you want. All right. So again, don't care about the negative. Don't care about the -5, the -5. What do I care about? What's happening to x here?
Cube root.
The cube root. The cube root. So this is a cube root graph. It's really like this, which means that it looks something like this. Something like that, like a sideways cubic. Okay, I want you to go ahead and write this one down. Write this one down. And then this is a type and wait, a type and wait. So you are not going to send it to everyone. You're going to type and wait. You can send it to everyone, but type and wait. I want you to tell me what the name of this is, what the name of it is, and then give me a brief description of what it would look like. What it would look like. So you're going to type and wait. So everybody should be typing. You're typing what the name of it is. Kayla, don't give it away. Type and wait. Type and wait. Kayla, I hope you're right, because now everyone's copying you. It's okay, Kayla. Sorry for making fun of you. So you're naming it, and what does it look like? Naming, what does it look like? Take about 15 more seconds. Okay, you're gonna press enter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Type enter, 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 enter. Oh yeah, so many enters. Love it. Blowing up the chat. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, okay, it is absolute value and it looks like a V. I love that Diana said it would look like a V on the positive side of the graph, absolutely. Alan, that as well. Alan, I forgot to introduce you. I'll introduce you in a second. Yeah, it's an absolute value graph. So for our notes, this would look like, the name is absolute value. And the graph looks like this. It might be a little skinnier. It might be, oh man, my thing's not working. Guys, this is what I was talking about, my internet dropping. Please hold. Go ahead and draw what you think it looks like while I replay this. It should look like that. You can check out the Zoom. All right. Okay, Alan, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. Okay, guys. Alan is one of our awesome TAs, and I just wanted to let him introduce himself. Alan, can you tell us who you are and why you wanted to TA this class?
Well, my name is Alan. I'm in pre-calculus as well. And the reason I wanted to TA is because I actually want to be a math teacher when I grow up.
Awesome. Cool. So Alan is also taking pre-calculus. He's taking senior pre-calculus. So he'll be here joining us and he'll be able to help you guys out. He also took my class and my honors class last year. So he'll be able to like support you as well as I can. And if he doesn't have a question, you guys can also talk to me. Or if he doesn't know a question, you can talk to me as well. So for today, if you guys could go ahead and head to Canvas and find assignment 1. Find assignment 1. I know some of you already have it open. That's awesome. Your assignment 1 should look like, let me reshare here. Go ahead and find that assignment 1. And my iPad is freaking out. Guys, isn't technology fun? So fun. So much better than just being in school. Just kidding. It's terrible. Okay, JK, I'm gonna stop sharing that and I will just share it on my screen. Have we found assignment 1, team? I'm seeing some thumbs up. That's great. Precalc. Okay, you'll notice the very first thing that you can see is a box to put in your notes. So when you're ready, maybe after you're done working a little bit more, you want to take pictures all at the same time, you can. But when you're ready, you're going to pop a picture of your notes into that box there. From there, you should see something that looks like this. Nope, this is an old assignment. Guys, I love showing you the wrong thing. Please hold. Thank you for being patient. Wait for it, wait for it. Hopefully you're able to find it. You guys got it on your end? Yes, great, okay. So you're gonna put a picture of your notes here. You should then see the assignment is posted below. So for the first part, you're gonna name the function. So it will show you the equation and you're gonna identify what function that would be. So you're gonna give it a name like quadratic, like cubic, square root, absolute value, cube root, whatever it is, you're gonna write in that name in the purple line. And then you're gonna quickly draw a sketch. It does not need to be perfect. It's not gonna, like, if you put it in Desmos, you can see what it looks like if you really need to. But the goal is that we're just matching and that we're able to, I want you by the end of the assignment to be able to like recognize it. Like if I draw a graph like this, you're like quadratic, that's what it is. So that's the goal by the end of the assignment. So you are gonna name them and draw sketches in part A. In part B, you're gonna look at a picture of it and name it, so you can compare it to your notes. And then in part C, you're gonna get the function, and then you're gonna say what the name is. So for this first one, I see it's x squared. What would the name be for that?
Quadratic graph.
Quadratic, yeah. So I'm gonna take this word quadratic and I'm gonna cut it and paste it in the name section. And then which of these letters could be the quadratic graph? Which one looks like a parabola?
W.
W, yeah, W looks like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a W in this box. So that's how I would go about doing part C, okay? And then that's it. So our whole goal is just to match the equations for now. So it should not take too much longer. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in breakout rooms. If you're feeling comfortable to go into the breakout room, you can jump in, you guys can work together as a team. If you are not feeling comfortable, you feel like, I don't really know, I want some more support, you can stay here. Just don't click on the breakout room, and we can start to go through the assignment together. So if you're feeling comfy, I'm gonna send you into these breakout rooms. Let me go ahead and recreate them. All right, the rooms are open. If you're feeling comfy, you can head in there. If you're not feeling comfy, you can stay here. I'll give you about 1 minute to transition. And then Alan, if you want to head into your group, and if they don't need you, you can come back. Go ahead and head into that group. Hi guys. Are you guys staying with me on purpose?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome, cool. Okay, let me just message these peeps that went into groups. Y'all can work together. Don't forget, it's easier to work together with your smiley face. Great. Okay, team, do you guys want to work on the assignment together? Sound good? You guys want to come off mute so I can hear you? Let's do this. Since we're in a small group, go ahead and unmute unless there's like other noise behind you. But if you're in a quiet area, go ahead and unmute so you can just like talk. All right, so for the first one, we have x squared there, right? We have x squared. So since it's x squared, what's the name of this one? You can look at your notes.
Quadratic.
Quadratic, yeah. So you're just gonna type in that box, quadratic. Mia and Kat, did you guys come back on purpose?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so then for number 2, I see the x right here. What's happening to x right now?
It's in a square root box.
Yeah, it's in the square root box. So looking at your graphs from your notes, which of them is, like, what do we call it when it's in a square root?
Square graph or radical.
A square root graph or a radical. So I'm gonna go ahead and just type square root graph. There. Like that. Okay. So then for number 3, I'm seeing x minus 1 to the power of 3 minus 4. So the minus 4 is not really doing anything. The negative 1 is not really doing anything. What's happening to the x in this case?
It's being cubed.
It's being cubed, yeah. Yeah, it's being cubed. So do you see one of the graphs? Like what's the name of the graph when it's being cubed?
Cubic.
Cubic, yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type cubic here. Does someone have birds in their room? Christine,
Yeah.
do you have birds? I can hear them. What kind of
I
birds?
have chick-
Chickens?
Yeah.
Wow. Ah, that's awesome. That's super cute. Okay, but Christine, I'm gonna mute you because I'm gonna get too distracted by them. Thank you. Okay, so we have cubic, we have all of these. Is it the drawing portion that we're feeling like a little scared about? No, feeling good? Jonathan's feeling good? Cool. So in the drawing portion, we're just gonna sketch. We don't have to like move them around. We don't have to do any transformations or anything. So let's just think, what does the quadratic graph look like? You can like show it with your hands.
Parabola.
Yeah, it looks like a parabola. So when you, on your paper, you're gonna write number 1. I'm literally gonna do this with you. You're gonna write number 1 and just draw a graph like this. And then since it's a parabola, I'm literally just gonna draw a graph like that. And that's my sketch for number 1.
Do you want us to write in our notebook and then take a picture and then upload it, or can we use like the drawings that are already at the bottom and then just like copy and paste it onto there?
Whichever you want, Emma. I think either of those options is great. Okay, so then for square root, so I'm gonna write number 2. And then what does the graph look like for the square root? Looking at your notes, what does it look like?
Like half a parabola.
Like half a parabola, right? Is it like this or is it sideways?
Sideways.
Sideways, yeah. And it's only on the positive side, right? So the square, because square roots are only positive. So it looks like this. If you want to think about it more, like the square root of 0 would be 0. And then like the square root of 1 would be 1. And the square root of 2, and the square root of 3, and the square root of 4, and the square root of 5, right? So it kind of just like does this. This is the one that Miss Name calls the shooting star graph. Cool. For number 3, that's the cubic. So go ahead and look at your notes and think about what does a cubic look like. Which one was that? Kat, can you describe it for us?
It's like the one that has like going that way and then this way.
Don't. Oh yeah, okay, so that's the cube root one, the sideways one. The one when it's to the power of 3, right? To the power of 3, that one actually like starts at the bottom and then flattens out and then goes up like this.
When this one, right?
Yeah, that one. Nancy, did you get kicked out and want to go back, or did you send yourself back on purpose?
I got kicked out.
Which group were you in?
I think the third one.
The third one? Did you have Galilee and Kimbo in your room?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you back. Okay. Okay, team. We are on number 4. Okay, what's happening to X on number 4? Marley, what's happening to X?
I had a feeling you were gonna follow me. It's on a square root.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like which one?
I'm gonna say it's a little square root.
Yeah, it's a square root. So what does the graph look like?
So it's like sideways on the positive side.
Sideways on the positive side, yeah. It looks like this, the shooting star again, right?
Yeah.
Shooting star, for sure. That's number 4. Cool. All right. Okay, some funky stuff happening in number 5, right? So I see the X, it's being multiplied times the 1/2, don't care about that. I see the negative, don't care about that. I see the +1, don't care about that. The reason I don't care is because it's not powerful. It's not doing anything particularly to the X. It might be changing like how wide it is, or it might be like it's upside down, but it's not changing the shape. What is making the shape here?
The exponent.
The X, yeah, the exponent, yeah.
The exponent,
exponent. Yeah, and what is the exponent?
2.
2, yeah. So this is really like X squared.
Right.
So what's the name of a graph that's X squared?
Quadratic.
Quadratic, yeah. So which number, what's the graph gonna look like?
A parabola.
A parabola, yeah, good job, Valerie. Sorry, I would draw it like this. All right. Okay, team. We're done here at 2:50, right? Does anyone know what the schedule is? Yeah, 2:50. Okay. I'm going to pause us there. I think, do we feel good? Our breakout rooms are going to come back to us, but do we have any questions on moving forward? No. If one seems particularly complicated, you can shoot me a text message, or you can just make a note of it and skip it and move on. We can come back to it. Cool. I'm going to bring back our breakout rooms. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Awesome. Welcome back. Cool. Okay, team. That is the end of our class time today. So let me just make sure we got everybody back here. Cool. Looks like everybody's back. That is the end of our session today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will post the video, so if you want to like come back to the video and check it out, we'll have it. If you have any questions or like something comes up right now, I am going to be back on this call at 3:50 for office hours. So that 10-minute window is just like any quick questions that you have. We can jump in there. If you have questions after or like later tonight, you can text me you can text me all the way till midnight. I will stop replying around probably 10 p.m. But well, hopefully before that. I'm trying to go on a run today. If you have any questions, shoot me a text message or an email. This assignment is due at 11:59 tonight. So please make sure that you are posting that up. If you run into any technology issues, just let me know. No big deal. Any questions for me? If you have any questions, you can stay on to ask them. Otherwise, it's been a great class. Love you all already, and I will see you guys next time. Good luck on your pre-ACT. Do great work. It's going to be totally fine. Also, if you want to bomb it, it's the pre-ACT, so don't worry about it. Love you. Adios. See you guys later. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye. Enjoy your week. Adios. Bye. I'm looking at this chat. What's this chat say? Chat says, bye, y'all. Oh, yeah. Bye, Walter. Bye. See you guys. Adios. Adios. Brandon, tell your brother I said hi. Oh, he left. Valerie, are you still there?
Yes, Miss. I actually want to see if you could type out number 6 because my iPad is acting a bit weird, and I could only see part of the equation.
Yeah.
Number 6. I can't get it all.
Number 6. It just says int. It's the like integer one. Let me see if I can send it. Brandon, you came back.
Oh, thank you.
Can you see that, Valerie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Brandon, I was just saying to let your brother know that I said hi.
Okay then. All right. Bye, Miss.
Bye. I'll see you later.
So wait, Miss, would that one be a logarithmic? Wait, what would it be?
Number 6.
Yeah.
Remember the stair step one?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this one
Oh,
is.
the greatest integer. Oh, okay.
Greatest
Yes.
integer. That's the one that like it goes and then it's up. And the clue is that it says int there, right? INT.
Yeah.
For
I didn't see it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. See you later.